What's up, you guys? After Reacts here, and today I'm going to be reacting to some more of The 100. This is season 7, episode 9. So yeah. I feel like I'm a little blurry. Give me a second. That's better, I think. Yes. So, we got some of The 100. Let's go over the comments from last week's episodes. Yes, you're right. I do just go with the flow. I just don't like negativity. It makes me sad, and I need to work on being critical, but I still enjoy things for being different. I'm just more a positive person, I guess. Okay. Echo is having a psychotic break. Oh. They can disguise it as cultural ritual all they want, but we know better. Self-mutilation, erratic behavior, rash decision-making, and emotional roller coaster. She is going to fall through the cracks if that canyon gets any bigger. I wonder if they're going to even, like, acknowledge that? I don't know. Fun fact. This episode is one of the highest rated episodes of the entire series. Well, I wonder why. Because it was all about, like, the prequel stuff. Literally, it's all about the, well, I mean, they kind of shoehorned a little bit of the weird stuff going on at the moment. But, further proof that clearly the show is smarter and better at its, like, core when it's about Earth. I don't know. This prequel should have happened. I didn't realize, but I totally, like, I can totally see it now that it was backdoor pilot. I remember, I'm pretty sure someone told me that there was a backdoor pilot at some point, and I completely forgot. This prequel should have happened. It would have given us more of what we want. I do want to make it clear that I honestly think that the first 5 seasons are the best, but I still enjoy season 6 and 7, mostly 6. Okay, I'm actually so pissed this prequel never happened. There's so many things they could have explored. They could have explored the beginning of the Mountain Men, that's true, and how they became the enemies, and maybe even explore the storylines from the beginning of the arc, with our favorite characters' ancestors, perhaps. They could literally explore so much more in this series, and it being a prequel wouldn't matter about how we know what happens in the end, because this is over 100 years ago. We don't know what happened to them. All we know is that they died at some point, like anyone. I need to sneeze, I'm sorry. No, it's not coming. All we know is that they died at some point, like anybody else, so it could just be as thrilling and exciting as a new show. By far, one of my favorite episodes in the entire series. I like the new characters and want to see how it all starts. The writing was surprisingly really tight and consistent with the show. The way they were able to combine the current season's lore with the old lore and have it all make sense is incredible. It has the perfect tone, and it honestly felt like a trip back to the best era of the show. Okay, maybe I understand why people don't like this season as much, but I get defensive with negativity. I apologize for that. Thank you for helping me see it this way. As you can tell, I'm a big fan of this episode since I can't stop talking about it, and I'm glad you enjoyed it so much. I'm sorry that we can't enjoy the prequel since the CW is crap. I mean, you said it. As stated by other comments, this was the backdoor pilot to a spin-off that never happened. Despite how I feel about the show, how the show has gone, I believe a prequel could have been amazing. Imagine a spin-off that felt like seasons 1 through 3 of The 100. Yeah. Like you said, it focused on what previously happened and explained a fair bit. From what I could tell, Tree Crew was probably some kind of environmental activist group, while a lot of things that they did show background for changed what we knew. I felt like most of them still made sense, like Trig. I always wondered how that language would have been developed and become the dominant language. Making Trig a language that Cal made up makes more sense. I don't know about that. I don't know. I was a little annoyed about that, because it's like, why would that become the main language? I don't know. Like, I don't know. This would explain why it frequently sounds like broken or dumbed down English. It was made by a child. I don't know. I don't like it. Done well, I think this show could have lasted a while and could have been even more successful than The 100 was. Even if it only got one season, I would like to see where they all went with it. 100% agree. They robbed us with this prequel. They should revive it sometime in the future, even though it's highly unlikely. You never know. I have a lot of thoughts. I absolutely hate that the language was created. The way some phrases are, it's very clear that it was supposed to be an evolved language, which would make sense in a world where most of the world's written word was destroyed. I think I recall a large library in the commander's home, but that would have been lightly damaged books collected over time. Yeah, exactly. I 100% agree. It would have made more sense, because how would that become the dominant language? I feel like the dominant language would be the language that it's like, I don't know, broken English. I don't know. It is nice that they have a solution for people surviving high levels of radiation other than natural selection, since the survivability would have been so low, but I do prefer the landing Becca had where the zombie-esque grounders were surrounding her. On the other hand, too many people would have been aware of the science behind Nightblood for it to become a religious thing. Plus, with so many animals surviving the radiation, they really didn't need the blood alteration for the human race to survive in the long term. However, assuming that Becca never had her own kids, this explains how Nightblood survived the generations. I'm a little conflicted on this point. I really hate that Becca Prime Hader was never a leader long enough for the Grounders to know or respect her leadership. Yes! When referring to your reign as Hader, you do so by saying that you are the heir of Becca Prime Hader, successor of whoever came before you, and that you have the flame. Why is her name so important if she wasn't even a leader long enough to become legendary? Absolutely, I 100% agree. Somehow saving the human race in secret doesn't have the same ring to it as rebuilding society upon rubble that you were responsible for. I'm displeased with how they reconstructed a story around this unnecessary plot. I cannot agree with you more. Does the bunker guy really need a family? There are other ways to make the audience believe this character is well-rounded. Just saying. If I wrote this, he would have been a mad scientist with a nomad or monk mindset, seeking ultimate enlightenment, who sent his flock to another planet to avoid radiation poisoning and food shortage. No need to involve Becca. How does he even trust her anyway if she is the one that ended the world? I don't know. See, that's the side of the story I don't really like that much. I don't know. Callie kept Becca's name alive after generations' stories become muddled. It makes sense that why they worship Becca so pretty much. Well, no, because like stories can get muddled, but the memory is inside the flame. So the person, like the commander, would always know the truth. It wouldn't be wrong. Like it wouldn't. No. Exceedingly low expectations don't make up for contradictory storylines. We clearly see Becca arriving to a horde of grounders in earlier seasons. Was it grounders? I don't remember. Now she is arriving to a small expedition team in hazmat suits. Filling in plot holes or time gaps is one thing, rewriting the script after the movie releases is another. Are you sure there were grounders in an earlier episode? I just went back to watch it, and it looked more subtle than I remembered. They clearly made it ambiguous with the way they barely showed anything, and made sure not to show any big details, so they had a free way to return to the storyline anytime they wanted. A lot of shows do this, so they have options when they return to it. They were grounders in the sense that they were outside in the radiation without hazmat suits instead of the bunker or a spacecraft. This would imply that a decent amount of time has passed, where the healthiest managed to survive the initial levels. This is noted in earlier seasons when we are told that it is custom that someone with a deformity is left out for nature to reclaim in order to strengthen the bloodline and humans as species. I don't think killing newborn babies would have become such a natural and respected ritual if the commander united the people so soon after society collapsed. I went back to find the original scene since you mentioned that things looked ambiguous. There must have been another scene somewhere that I'm thinking of, because the clothes aren't as damaged and the people aren't as dirty as I remember. Regardless, there's still a lot of people who witnessed her landing in the original scene filmed, and then the few explorers that found her in the refilmed scene, and at least to me, it still looks like the people in the original were wearing some kind of clothes and masks that Americans wore during the Dust Bowl, not hazmat suits. After all, the average person wouldn't have a radiation-resistant suit. I need to go back and look at that, because you've got me curious now. I'm just so bummed that this never came full series. There's so much potential for this show, and the CW just threw it away. This as a pilot is already way stronger than the pilot for The 100. It took a few episodes before the show started to find its footing. I can agree with that. The world of The 100 was definitely built well enough to deserve its own universe of shows. I think spin-offs would have stood better on their own than trying to shove it into the current show. As much as I like the themes of the current season, it feels a little forced. I can agree with that. I feel like season 6 and 7 would have been a spin-off. Should have been a spin-off, and season 5 be the end of the main show. I do like these last 2 seasons, but they do feel very different from past seasons. So it being under a different title could have made it more well received. I hope they revive the world sometime in the future, because there's still so much story to tell. What would you name it? Like, how would you name, like, TV shows in the universe? Like, what would you name? Maybe instead of The 100, it would be The Grounders. I don't know. Or maybe we could just name it The Ground. I don't know. The first 5 seasons, in my opinion, were not too far out there for me to consider it sci-fi. Sure, we had people who used to live on space station story, but I feel that was about it. I don't count Ally as particularly sci-fi. I feel our society, given the right amount of time, right amount of people, we could program an AR that can come somewhat close. I mean, to be fair, look what our AI technology can do now. It can make pictures. I consider season 6 and 7 actual sci-fi, because we literally went on another planet by ship. Hell, season 7 dialed it up to the inclusion of the anomaly. But season 1 through 5, nope, that's like perhaps maybe barely touching early SG-1 days, kinda sci-fi. I get your issue with the show, Fruits, and I, in some ways, share it. You signed up for a show about people from the sky landing on Earth and having drama with the people on the ground. Not a show where all of a sudden we go to other planets. It's a huge shift in tone for a show, and I get how it could put some people off. I have more to say about this when you reach the end of the show. Well, there you go. Fruits, I feel sorry for you having burned your finger, but you just asked, do you want to kiss it better? I ain't kissing my screen. That would be weird and unsanitary. Well, maybe you should clean your screen! Anyways, sorry, that was loud, and whatever. True, I like seeing JR Bourne as the Dark Commander. He's got a great way of acting evil, not as much fun as a certain trenchcoat angel. But certainly getting there. Right. Sure. Nope, no sarcasm at all. It is an easy conclusion to make. Fruit's code disappears after Russell is seen making a deal with the Dark Commander. It's just a thing that went over your head, I suppose. Well, in my defense, if you're right, in my defense, CW shows in particular usually smack you over the head with the thing that they're trying to tell you. And I feel like I wasn't smacked over the head, so whatever. Why do these people care so much about Clark? My theory, because I honestly don't remember, is that they've somehow heard about Clark's impressive skill at pulling levers and pressing buttons. Somewhere on this planet of theirs, there's an ultimate button that could prevent this ultimate war they keep mentioning, and they need Clark because she's the chosen one. Only chosen ones have the strength and fortitude to push that shit. Added later, okay, his daughter's mind is on the drive. Lame. I like my button theory better. Yeah, look, to be honest with you, I feel like this season in particular is trying really hard to make Clark super important. And, she's been really important in other seasons, don't get me wrong. Really. But this is a little convoluted. We're just oh, these people on another planet have heard that they need Clark. The fuck? Why? I mean, we know why now, I guess. I don't know, I feel like they're trying really hard to make Clark the chosen one this season, and it's well, before she was just a human that was, getting herself involved and stuff. Now, there's this, outer force, I guess, getting her involved. It just feels, forced. In my opinion. Yeah, characters on the show win fights for the sake of the story. I stand by the fact that the old crazy man could never have beaten Echo. Here we have another example of Hope is getting her ass handed by Diyoza. Was Hope not paying attention when she got taught by the crazy old man and her dad? She should be able to match Diyoza in fighting skills, especially since she's younger, and I bet Diyoza hasn't really been in a fight since she had Hope. I mean, you're not wrong. Echo, well, maybe a little crazy. I don't agree, but for argument's sake, is still a grounder. I don't think it's out of character for her to do a grounder thing and show blood on her face. It's, like she said, a thing her people do to indicate she's ready to go to war. Yes, she's come a long way from being a spy or whatever, but she's considered one of them, and she is and always will be a grounder. That's her upbringing. To argue that she shouldn't do that kind of stuff or act this way is like me, is like if you'd argue Tilk to stop following Jafar rituals and tell him to be normal. No, that's not even remotely true. That's not the same at all. Normal by whose standards? It'd be kind of an insult to his culture. That's why I don't agree with you. Echo's normal is not like it. She's having a psychotic break. Like that's all I can say. Like I don't know. Echo's out of character behavior. Losing Bellamy is due to the fact that deep down she's still a grounder. Grounder's gonna ground. No. Why do they need 10 digits to dial another planet? Seems like a bit much to me. You only need to dial 7 on Stargate, 8 to go to another galaxy, and you go to thousands of different worlds with that. 10 digits is just overly complicated shit. And from what we've seen, there's only like 6 worlds or something that you can go to. They need to go to Abydos and get some more... Oh, too soon. You know what I just realized? These guys are related to the second, Dawn, and they think that Clark is the key. I'm gonna just leave that there. Okay. True, the actress opposite Bill's daughter, I'm not spelling out her name, fuck that, was Lilith, or Lily, the little girl who hung out with young Emma on Once Upon a Time. Also, you spelt it O-A-U-T, so once upon time. Yep, sure. Then is a cockroach. He'll bore his way into anything. I legit don't remember him showing up because I can happily say I didn't know him at the time, so it'll be interesting to see if he was just as boring here as he was on the other show. You know what? I am torn because presumably this would have just happened before Legacies. So I both wish that the prequel series was greenlit, but also I don't wish. I don't know. I wish it because he would never have shown up on Legacies. They wouldn't have the useless character of Ethan. Okay. But then we would have him, like, the actor, on this spin-off show. And I mean, I guess I don't really have anything against the actor. It's the character that I have an issue with on Legacies. So I guess it would be a good thing if it did go greenlight, because then he would still have a job, and maybe his character wouldn't be annoying like it is on Legacies, and we wouldn't have him on Legacies. So there's that. I see it as a win-win. Anyways, what in the last episode Gabriel said that they needed 10 symbols. Now they're saying it's 7. Who watched Stargate between these 2 episodes? Also, I checked, Julie Blake didn't write for the 100, but I would not have been surprised if she had. Which, I don't know. Okay, so I looked this up. Becca basically landed right in front of Polis in 307. The people seen coming towards her looked like they were wearing some sort of armor, military, I think, or grounder armor, but I feel I can definitely see a soldier's helmet on one of them in 307. I just checked on Netflix. I feel maybe they could have re-edited this in the future Blu-ray streaming releases or whatever after Season 7 came out to further fix a visual plot hole, because for some reason I remember seeing obvious grounders approaching her when I first watched it. Given how that we can't really see who the people were in 307 since they were too far away from Becca when they approached her, I think the most likely scenario is that the writers jumped at the opportunity to use this for their story for 708, and that it was meant to be Grounders in 307, but they changed it to the Second Dawn in 708 to fit their narrative. Probably. That is probably pretty accurate. Also, I don't know if they would have altered their, like, film or whatever, but, like, to be fair, it has been done with Star Wars over and over and over again. You can't get, like, you literally can't get an original Star Wars movie, because it's been tampered with somehow. So now we know how people from Earth got to Bardo. Great, cool, but I'ma just point out the extreme convenience that this anomaly, with which we can only travel to a handful of other planets as far as where they're aware, also goes to Sanctum. One planet in our galaxy that just happens to also have humans from Earth on it. Given that our galaxy consists of 100 billion stars, with probably 1 billion chances for habitable worlds, I find the likelihood that they're just able to stumble onto these two planets to be very, very convenient. You may hit that button now, Fruits.
TV show's got a TV show.
Also, here's a good question. If there was a sphere thingamajiggy on Earth, why was there not more anomaly situations going on? Why didn't we have green light things? Huh? I'm just saying. Also, we see here that the anomaly stone was inside Polis all along, most likely left there after the Second Dawn went, so nobody told the Grounders to move it somewhere. Yet, we've never seen the anomaly be formed after. Are we supposed to assume the Second Dawn never tried to go back to Earth for a quick trip or whatever? They seem to go to the other planets pretty often. I feel this is a further proof that the final 2 seasons were not planned from the very beginning, like the producer wants us to believe. I mean, think about it. Like, they went through the ball and then presumably never came back. So, like, that ball should have still been there, like, when, I don't know, Octavia took over and... Right? Where is the ball then? I mean, with the end of Season 5 being the end of Book 1, and keeping in mind that all books of the 100 were put into the first 5 seasons, it's safe to assume that the whole mention of we planned this ending from the beginning was just an excuse, and the anomaly, having never been seen before, was new, and the people Becca saw in 307 really were just Grounders before this episode. Dude, that was a weak punch. Ethan just wanted to lightly touch that guy's face, because he was probably feeling lonely, and that guy was like, don't swing that way, buddy, and fought back. Oh, I don't swing that way, buddy. Okay. Right. Wait, what? Okay, here's my issue. All these guys all have guns, okay? Girl with unpronounceable name just shot her brother, and then is like, let's go, or you're next. They outnumbered her by a lot. She doesn't have the high ground here yet. All of these guys stand down and let her leave. Who wrote this? I don't know. But apparently it wasn't Julie Plec. Was 708 a good episode? Sure. It connected some dots. Would it have been a good premise for a new show coming off of the 100? I'm not so sure. Which plotline would it have followed? The Grounders, who would watch while they tried to survive and for some reason started speaking Trig, even though there was no reason for it, kind of lame. Or take everything bad from season 6 and 7 and have It'd be about the people of Bardo who, for the longest time, would have only been able to go a handful of other planets, and who would be talking about the last war every chance they'd get, but couldn't show anything because they hadn't met the 100 for another couple 100 years. I can see why they passed on making this a show. Besides, how about we don't give Ethan any more screen time, please and thank you. Remember, it wouldn't have been Ethan here. Maybe it would have been a useful character that would have made sense in the franchise. Which is why we have an issue with Ethan in the first place, because he serves no purpose! Sorry, I'm good. How are you? You good? I think I need to fix my camera again. Okay, hopefully that's better. I just thought it was too zoomed in, and it would be very annoying when trying to cut myself out for a thumbnail. Anyways, let's get into the episode. 3 months earlier. Oh, okay.
I know you've only agreed to disciple training to get out of your cells. That's because you're blind to what's really going on.
Lots of timey-wimey stuff going on.
To the truth of our cause. I realize that taking things on faith is not in your nature, so I'm going to show you what happens if we lose.
He's got some very baggy legs. Pants.
Service.
Like, no legs.
You are pretty brave taking us yourself.
It's not bravery, Help. You see, this elevator will stay on the surface until I signal for it to be brought down. I take it on faith that you'd rather not die today. Good. Then masks on. The particulate matter in the air is lethal to humans. It will literally calcify you from the inside.
Gabriel saved us. Where is Gabriel?
Gabriel is no longer your concern.
Then why did that guy tell them they'd be fine?
This is what you're preparing to fight.
No. The Bardoans lost their last war. This is all that is left.
Let me get this straight. The 10-foot aliens with superior technology that built this place got genocided and turned to stone by the enemy. We're gonna fight.
Precisely. Now you know what you're training for.
I do love me an unwinnable war.
Sit tight. I know it's scary, but we'll find a way out of this. You stay quiet, okay? No! Maddie! Aren't you a Spitfire? But you need to calm yourself.
I did not realize she was here. I
For now.
do not remember that.
We would like to extend an invitation to Russell and Daniel Prime and Raven Reyes to meet us at the palace. You have 20 minutes to
wait,
get here
she's
or
not
we
here.
start killing hostages.
Want to take a guess? We'll be first.
I'll let her introduce herself. This is Kaylee Prime. Daniel, I don't want you to do it now.
What we talked about.
I'm supposed to tell you that I'm looking at a gun pointed at my head. But I don't
Oh
want
no,
you to do
oh,
anything.
it's behind you.
Wait! You heard what she said. Don't be stupid.
20 minutes.
Oh, look. Now it's 19.
Tick-tock.
If you touch her, I will kill you. Monsieur.
She's not your baby. She's all of ours.
She's mine.
She'll be cared for, fed, bathed, comforted, and watched over.
No.
Not by 2 eyes, but by thousands.
No.
Bring her out.
What the hell was that?
A test. And you failed, like Octavia and Hope before you. You need to give up on your selfish love, your motherly instincts.
I can't just turn it off.
Then you'd better learn, because if you don't come over to the cause, you'll be sent back to penance. One at a time, to grow old and die alone.
I mean, one at a time. All they have to do is fail
I
all
suggest you
together, and
commit to
then
the training.
they.
Or you'll lose your sanity.
Never
And your
mind, that
life.
doesn't work.
So they took 30 people hostage? You really do have an iron grip in this place.
We don't have time for games. Don't act so surprised. You wanted chaos and you got it. In the meantime, my people will blow the doors off the place and come in shooting.
Why don't you go play hero?
I'm going. So are you.
Why would I?
I mean,
As
you
we
don't really
discussed
have a
before,
choice.
if these fools finally wise up, then they'll want to tear me apart. And if I survive that, then you have no reason to keep me around. It's a quick death either way.
How about a slow one right now?
As much as I'd relish that, I'm going to need more.
I'll protect you from the faithful.
That's a start.
You can have back your 10 minutes a day of guarded time outside.
30 minutes.
20.
And I want someone to play chess with. Someone who understands the complexities.
Trust me, I'm done playing with you.
Perhaps you're a more formidable opponent.
I don't play games. I'll find you someone. Do we have a deal?
Since your plan most likely leaves us dead,
I have a better idea.
while I was pretending to be that simpering fool, I happened upon something that might help us.
A tunnel under the palace. It leads right into the Great Hall. This could work.
I feel like this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
No morning sickness. Sign me up.
No negative effects on a woman's health in any way. And we can monitor the embryos in the extracorporeal gestational systems for birth defects and correct them before they are born.
How impersonal.
She had a heart defect? Yes. But it was surgically corrected 3 weeks ago. Now she's perfect and about ready to be birthed. Let's give her some privacy.
Doesn't look ready to be
I know
birthed.
it must seem strange, but the fact that you gestated in your mother's body is equally as bizarre to us.
You did kick the hell out of my kidneys.
Exactly. In our method, none of our people are laid up for extended periods of time. Do you want to know how many embryos we have? 25. The same number of disciples that you have murdered.
If you need as many warriors as possible, then why don't you just hatch a larger army?
Resources. It's a limited world.
And you can only mind control so many at a time.
And these kids, they don't have any parents to take care of them after they're deglobbed.
The team raises the children until they're ready for the creche, and then it's everyone's job.
So they don't form selfish bonds.
Exactly. Close your eyes. Everyone. Now, take it
I
deep
would
breath,
open them back up again.
hold it, and
Not
let it
me.
out slowly on a count of 3. The
shepherd brings us calm. The shepherd brings us wisdom. The shepherd brings us love for all mankind.
Now, open your eyes and breathe.
This is serious brainwashing. These kids had it better than I ever did.
See, that's the thing. It's not brainwashing unless it is washing your brain
They are watching us.
with new information that goes against
You
what.
gotta try.
Oh my god, English. Hang on. Brainwashing is not what they're doing here with the children, because they're being like they're being taught a certain way, okay? Brainwashing is when you when someone has already got an established personality, beliefs, thoughts, feelings, and then you brainwash that to believe, think, feel everything else, like something else. So I don't think that is brainwashing, but I think what they're trying to do with these guys is brainwashing.
That's right. Echo's the only one that passed the fear simulation. But you're the only one who almost killed Anders.
Yeah, wish it was real.
Stop. Get your anger under control. Or do you want to go to penance alone?
What do they want with us anyway? We can already kick the disciples' asses.
That's not the point.
Single-minded devotion. Screw your friends and family. You've got to bury your love and your anger and everything else so deep they'll never find it.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, for you. You just like having someone give you orders again so you don't have to think for yourself.
I think it's time for me to go to bed. Damn yourself if you want to. But I believe in what they're teaching, and I will not let you take me down with you. What's in here?
Only level 11s and above allowed.
Bioweapons?
Not a weapon. At least, not anything that we would ever use.
If we're gonna go all in, you're gonna have to trust us.
After years of study, we've managed to isolate the substance that wiped out the former inhabitants of this planet.
Those crystal creatures that we saw outside?
Yes. We call it Gem 11. And the little that we have would wipe out everyone on Bardo. Now it's time to train.
I wonder if that'll get used at some point.
This exercise is about communication. It's very simple. The shooter will be firing blindly. They'll have to listen to their spotter to hit the small target behind me. First person who hits it wins. Please, help your partner with the blindfolds.
Are these weapons lethal?
No. Is everyone ready? Begin.
Target is dead ahead. Shoulder height.
Down to the left. Three inches down. Hit.
You okay?
Yeah. What the hell? I won.
Technically. But you broke the spirit of the rules.
Following rules isn't how you win a war.
Perfect control. That is how we win.
4 minutes to spare. Where's Raven?
Took a group to the second compound site. They're expected back anytime.
Don't spit in my face and tell me it's raining.
Look, I get it. If anything happened to my girl, I don't know what I would do, but I swear to you, she is coming. Since Russell and I are here, you don't need the kids anymore. Let them go.
Now it's 3 minutes.
Just enough time to end the charade. Now tell these people who you really are.
I'm not Daniel Lee. My name is John Murphy. Zed was right. We are not primes.
No, you saved my son with your grace. Your turn.
Stall. Danger's coming.
Okay, it's true. My name is Amori. And this is the body I was born with. The Lees are dead.
No, they're only saying what our enemies want to hear. Have faith! Faith! Enough.
1 minute until I start shooting, unless Raven shows up to take the bullets for you.
Russell had all you fools convinced he was a god. If I really was a god, why was it so easy for me to kill him and take his body?
What? No.
I am not Russell Nightborn. I wear his body as my host. Your primes are gone forever.
No, you'll die for what you've done.
Time's up! Looks like Amori dies instead of Raven.
Wait, okay, it wasn't Raven's idea to use your people, okay? It was mine. It was mine.
You're just saying that to save her life.
Heroing's not really my thing. But Hatch, he was a better man than me. He was a good man.
His name. No! Out of your lying mouth!
He's a true blue hero. He saved all of us, Nikki, so think about it. If you kill these people, it's sort of like spitting all over his good work.
Weapons down now! Put the gun down! All of you. Nikki, it's over. Put the gun down. Put it down.
Everyone, on your knees.
You're welcome. The plan worked perfectly.
So far?
Echo. Hey, we need to go.
Go where?
I have a plan.
For what?
Revenge. But we need to go before they discover what I took.
You took the flamethrower?
We torch the oxygen farm.
What?
I already shut down the fire suppression system. It'll be an inferno. We'll end Bardo today.
And you're telling Echo who likes it here.
What about your mother and Octavia?
Level 2.
No time to get to them and through the confusion. We'll get to the stone room. Get off this planet.
I don't think you thought this through.
I thought you wanted this.
Why would you
They
think
took
that?
Bellamy from you. They stole my
She's
life.
literally giving you no indication that she wants to leave.
This isn't the right way. Let's go get your mom and Octavia. Run this plan by them.
Don't you understand? They'll try and stop us. They've bought in. We have to save them from themselves.
What? Why would you go to Echo?
Talk? That is not the Echo that I spent 5 years with on Skyring. I guess it got to you too. I'll do it myself. You know, I thought Bellamy meant something to you.
Can't let you kill everyone! Help! Stop!
I have to save you from yourself, all of you. Sorry.
This is a bit... Yeah.
I killed her.
You saved everyone else in Bardo. You've passed the final test.
Oh.
Wait! What about our people?
You're trying to kill your own mother to save who exactly?
Octavia, Echo, and Gabriel.
Waiting for us in the stone room. You done? Can we do this?
Do it. They deserve it for what they did to us.
I'm sorry, Hope. You failed.
I won't let you do this! Why?
Killed your daughter in the simulation? I don't know about that.
Your fight is over.
I don't know about that. I feel like them two wouldn't make that choice, but okay.
You should all be proud. Each of you has shown commitment to the cause. I'm sure you will serve well in the last war. But sadly, one of you has not been able to grow for the cause. Echo, you have been our star student. You fully integrated into our culture, so I'm giving you the honor of deciding Hope's fate.
We have to break her spirit. Rip apart her bonds. 5 years, one penance.
A fair sentence. Guards.
No. What are you doing? What are you doing? Mom, please! No! Please!
Her penance begins soon. Your celebration begins now. For all mankind.
For all mankind.
Do not open these doors. You might hear disturbing things, but these are my orders. Is that clear?
He lied to us.
Sev, stop. Sev, stop. What are you doing?
Shut up, you fool! There is an ancient saying, what is a king without subjects? But I ask, what are subjects without a king? They are but lost sheep. Confused and scared. Needing guidance and protection from the wolf who delights in their slaughter.
What are you doing?
Killing a demon. Do you have a problem with that?
I feel like he's not gonna get killed here.
Good. Get some rest. You've both had a long day.
We should go. Before they come for us.
What?
This is what he wanted.
Open the door!
Only on Indra's word.
Listen. It's not one man screaming should hate us killing them.
What did you just say?
I gone play your starter.
Hey, what's up you guys? Quick interruption here. As you are no doubt aware, these past few years have been tough on all of us. And there are some things that none of us can hide from. The cost of living, for instance, food and things like electricity, gas, and water have all gone up, and they continue to go up. Now, I don't really like to advertise this, but in order to afford keeping the lights on, the camera running and to be able to provide you guys with new content like this very edit, for example. I feel I need to let you guys know about how you can help support the channel and myself. I have a Patreon that if you pledge to, you're helping support the channel, and in return, you can get a vast amount of content that you wouldn't regularly get on YouTube, such as full unedited reactions to my regular content, a ton of other shows and movies that you probably don't even know that I've reacted to. A link to this can be found in the description below, and it really does help the channel by keeping me and my very cute cats alive. Think of the cats. If you're interested, you can also check out our website, which is also linked below. Perhaps there's some shows and movies there that you didn't even know that I reacted to, but you always wanted to see. Please know, pledging is entirely your own choice, of course. You're welcome to stay here on YouTube and wait for the edits to come out. No worries. I'm not going anywhere. More edits are coming. I understand not everyone is in the position to support creators, but any help is welcome. Anyways, thank you for your continued support, whether it's through YouTube or on Patreon. You guys are the best. Now please, enjoy the rest of the video. Yeah, that's not good. Gosh, after everything, they still just bowed to what they think is the commander. I mean, he doesn't have the flame in him though, so like, come on, man. It's just the same as Maddie at this point. Anyways, Echo's disappointing me further. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.